Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TH Media More Than the Score, presented by Dubuque Bank and Trust. I am your host, Steve Ortman, alongside, once again, we've been graced with Brenden West. How's it going, Brenden?
Pretty good. It's playoff basketball season, so I'm absolutely pumped with it.
Now, I know what you're thinking out there. It's another Brenden West episode. But hang tight, because he's going to be talking about some boys basketball. We've got things going with the boys basketball, so let's talk about how things have been getting underway.
Well, on Monday night, I actually covered a doubleheader. I covered Western Dubuque versus Hempstead. Hempstead, of course, won that game. I think it was 52-37. And then I covered Dubuque Senior getting the thrilling win over Davenport North. So both the Dubuque teams, it was a clean sweep in Sub-State 4 for Class 4A. They're both moving on. I actually got to catch up with Coach Kurt Deutsch after the Hempstead win, and they've already sort of scouted Davenport Central, who they play on Fridays. So we got a couple clips of that. Coach, why don't you start off by telling us about tonight's win and maybe just how good it feels to get through Western Dubuque, because it was close at times, and you guys had to grit out a tough one to get it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of respect for Coach Garrity and West Dubuque out there, and I thought our kids just did a great job. We were down 9-2 to start the game, and then went on a 25-2 run to really kind of stretch it out and took a 16-point lead in the halftime. And I thought we got a collective effort. We had 8 and 10 points from a lot of different players, and coming out of halftime, they put a little run on us, but I really thought our kids showed a lot of composure and maturity and made some free throws down the stretch, and we got out of here with a nice win in the postseason.
And welcome back. That was Hempstead coach Kurt Deutsch as the Mustangs, along with also Dubuque Senior, are moving on in the playoffs, so both teams will be playing again on Friday. And as we are back now, we are joined by Tim O'Neill. The ratings are in, and quite frankly, the Brenden West episodes they're bombing. They're bombing in the ratings. So we're bringing in the heavy hitter. We're bringing in Tebow, and we're going to talk wrestling once again. The Iowa State tournament has wrapped up. Claimed a couple state champions. Tell me about the experience.
Well, it was pretty exciting. It always is at state wrestling. This was my 6th state wrestling tournament, 4th time covering the state finals, and quite honestly, the Dubuque County area has never done better in my time covering wrestling here. We had 2 state champions. Max Lyon from Western Dubuque was the Bobcats' first state champion since 2006. That was pretty exciting. He capped off a perfect year. He's got another year to go, so he could very well become a 2-time state champion. And the way he looked this year, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it undefeated again. And then, of course, Gaina Gremmel from Hempstead, a senior, finally got his state championship, his 3rd time in the finals. And he did it in an all-Dubuque County championship match. He beat Western Dubuque's Aaron Costello. Gremmel was a senior this year. Costello will be back next year. He was a junior this year. And I would not be the least bit surprised if at this time next year we're talking about Aaron Costello being a state championship. But even beyond that, the rest of the tournament was a great success. Hempstead took 7 guys. 5 got on the medal stand. Western Dubuque put 3 guys on the medal stand. And it was just, from the first day on, the fans were into it, the wrestlers were doing well, and just an awesome atmosphere for 4 days.
Yeah, and it always is. And work around here never ceases around this time. You just wrapped up in Iowa. You're heading right up to Madison here this weekend for Wisconsin. Anything stand out on that end as you head up there?
Well, we only have 1 returning champion this year going up to Madison. It's Alston Nutter from Fenimore. All of our other guys who won championships last year have graduated. But who knows? It's going to be exciting. I know Fenimore has had a really fantastic year up there. They've sent a lot of guys to state. They got their eyes set on doing something special. They got another guy on that roster who won a championship for Riverdale a couple of years ago. So I know Fenimore is a team to watch for in Madison this weekend.
All right. Well, it should be another exciting weekend. We keep them busy around here around this time of year. So, well, that should wrap it up for another episode of TH Media More Than the Score, presented by Dubuque Bank and Trust. That's Tim O'Neill. I'm Steve Ortman, and before we close things out, I've seen things, all these good sports shows. All these shows really, you just want to have good music to play out. So I want to appease the fans. I was able to borrow my daughter's kazoo. So to close it out, we'll see you next time.